Really? What the hell is wrong? Okay, guys. Anyways, I always tell you that Moscow is the worst place for the Russian generals. This guy, what's his name? General Igor Jerusalimov. Yes, Jerusalimov is his name. He was captured in Moscow. Just recall the case happened a few days ago with this Moscow's restaurant and the chief of the Russian Aerospace Forces, basically Space Forces and Air Force, all combined. Simply a deputy of Gerasimov, a very important general, celebrated his birthday and he almost received his explosives present. However, the present blown up open right near to the entrance, and it took some of the guests, and one of the guests was this Russian general. And how do we know it? We know it. You see, Igor Jerusalimov is okay, that symbol on this, and the Russian generals are also reported about it. So today relatives and military friends will say goodbye to the hero of SMO, Igor Jerusalimov, who used to live in our place. The street is the same, Aviatorov Street. At this, well, in this same place, two of the Russian generals were kaboomed before. So if you want to say final farewell to Igor Jerusalimov, support his family, this is the place. The funeral is tomorrow at 10. We'll be very grateful to all neighbors who would like to join. So this is the chat of the place where he used to live. For now, Russia tries to cancel all of the information about those captured Russian generals, but still, it is going out there in internet, and our OSINTs are searching for the information. Moreover, it looks like not just a single general was kaboomed. There is another one, more information. Well, Military News UA says that two high-ranking Russian officers, Lieutenant General Igor Jerusalimov and unidentified Major General, died under unclear circumstances. Both may have been killed on August the 1st explosion at Moscow in Basil Rossi restaurant during Chaika 55th birthday celebration, which left at least 3 dead. Some reports say 5. And 21 injured. Yeah, now we have lots of the speculations, but this guy, he was buried down. It was confirmed by the chat and by the photo I showed you. A very interesting stuff is happening. Moreover, Putin is changing the part of the military command, as it was announced today. My friends, by the way, a short reminder, which is very important for the channel, so please press your like to this video just right now while you're watching it, and also subscribe to the channel. We are on the way to reach 1 million subscribers, hopefully kind of soon. And guys, also, if you can, you may support my job on Patreon. The link for it is in the video description below, or join membership of YouTube channel by pressing button join. Guys, you're amazing, you're making this content possible. And let's continue with the video. So yeah, Putin met with some of the generals and he announced serious changes in Russian military command structure. Valery Solochuk will oversee all rear logistics service under the Defense Ministry. Andrei Ivanayev will command the group center of the Russian army. Bulgariev, the Vostok grouping, and Denis Lyamin will head Russia's drone forces. So Russia, they saw what Ukraine did with Magyar, and they put their own Denis Lyamin, who will be the commander of the Russian drone army. So Russia has finally created this separate type of the forces, drone forces, and Ukrainian model showed the effectiveness, so Russia may try it. We'll see how it works. And I see Gerasimov, he's there. This is Gerasimov over here. He stays without any changes. Why? Because he's freaking loyal to Putin. You see, Syrsky is gone in Ukrainian army, Dropaty is way more competent, and he is performing some of the changes from what I see for good. But with Gerasimov, Russian army is not that capable. That's my opinion and opinion of many of the Russian Z bloggers. They hate Gerasimov because he doesn't want to apply some of the reforms that would boost the Russian army capabilities, potentially. And you know, guys, I want to add some more meat on the bones in the topic of the Russian generals. You see, Putin already made it public that he's concerned about the Russian generals, about the Russian military command, that they're being captured. He said about it a few months ago that they need to provide extra security for Russian command staff. It was his not proposal, but the order, which he said openly to the press, and it was recorded during his meeting. He told about it to FSB chief, and what is done? Like, nothing is done. You see, this restaurant is very close to Kremlin. It's very close to the FSB headquarters. Nevertheless, the stuff happened. A big kaboom that took probably lives of some of the Russian generals. For now, we just need to wait for more information. But the fact that Russia tries to hide the circumstances of the event and the aftermath tells a lot that probably, at least partially, the kaboom was successful. So the situation, from what we see openly, is very interesting for Putin. He might say absolutely everything, but it doesn't matter, because the events are happening aside of what he is saying, what he is ordering. It means that he is not in control of the situation. Maybe he never was. So the war and the events connected to the war go in parallel with what Putin thinks should be done, or like he lives in parallel reality, parallel to absolutely everything, even to what is happening in Russia. And if the Russian FSB cannot protect their own Russian generals in freaking Moscow, capital city of Russia, like, what can we say about Wildberries? What can we say about refineries, oil storages? It's basically Russia. Russia is freaking useless. Or maybe they just use all of the resources for Putin, because Putin requires lots of the protection. He definitely afraid for his life, and this Navy parade with the placard of the submarine, it was a really funny thing to watch. Russian gens are dying like flies in the capital city of Russia. This is the most dangerous city for them. Really, they should go to the front lines. And guys, it is happening just right now. Ukraine has launched multiple of the drones to the Russian territory, occupied Crimea, occupied regions of Ukraine. And this is what I call a real heat wave. It is coming to Russia massively. So something will kaboom. Well, it's already kabooming, as for example here, it's the Moscow's Institute of Roscosmos. So cosmos means space. In this facility, Russians developed something, so we don't know what happened there. It was not the Ukrainian drone strike, so it just went on fire. The roof. The bell says that Ukraine escalates Wildberries attacks, yes, every day. Maybe we'll see the one tomorrow. So without state support from the Russian government, it could remain unprofitable for years, this business, which was actually profitable. So Wildberries requires around $16 billion to recover from the Ukraine's campaign of the strikes on its logistical network. 16 billion. Well, the first Wildberries that was kaputted was Electrostal, and it's the record big, 240,000 square meters, and it was 1 billion. 1 billion with everything what is inside, even more than $1 billion. And Ukraine continued the series of those strikes. So Wildberries, I think, will not make it. The only solution now Russia tries to make is to put Wildberries to integrate it into the Russian post service. Very interesting, but post service, it doesn't have those huge warehouses, smaller ones, but maybe they want to drop down the scale of Wildberries, but to make it more reliable. But knowing the Russian state and this government organization of Почта России, so Russian Post, it is the most Soviet thing they have. The Russian Post is one of those organizations that lives in the past century, and it has lots of the complaints from Russians. That's why Wildberries is so popular. Ozon, because they do not communicate with the Russian official poster. You cannot integrate something new like Wildberries and the old Soviet system. Yeah, sometimes Russian Post tries to introduce some of the new technology, like for example drone mail delivery, and let's watch it. I think it was filmed even before the war, but I'm not sure. I will turn off the music just to avoid copyright. So the drone takes off. It flies very well. That's the demonstration for those officials who are freaking Soviet. The drone flies. What? Quick delivery of the drone spare parts, right? The machine was set to offer a new way of delivering mail. Yeah, I know it's the old far damn video, but this is the reality they have. Yeah, so there are no changes since that time in the Russian polls. So integration of Wildberries into the system, it is reckless, it will not happen. Okay, finally we have the confirmation from the container ship. This is Nadezhda container that belongs to the Russian Rosatom. It was hit in the Black Sea. By the way, it was not registered in Russia, kind of strange. And by the time of the strike, you see it was empty. So this is the real image. It's not an AI. Moreover, we have the images from the crew, and also they show the empty deck. For the strike, Ukraine used the Shahid-like drones, which are, I would say, effective. It's like GTA, but from the FPV drone perspective. Nemesis Group performs Operation Mid-Range Strikes. Damn. They're trying to hide, but they're locked on. They're locked, and this is the automatic system, machine vision with an AI definition of the target, and this vehicle is of course no-go. Yeah, I'm sorry, there is the music playing again. Lots of the music, and those are the Russian trucks. They still park everyone together. All of the trucks, like for what reason? They don't have enough parking spots? Well, it's good for Ukraine. They continue to do it, you see, in Crimea, in occupied regions. Oh, this is the Russian military, happy delivery, and few trucks once again. So Nemesis report about multiple of the kabooms happened the last months. It was the record thing for the Russian losses. And I would say more. The last month in July, Russia has lost more than 40,000 soldiers, wounded and KIA. Those losses are the highest this year, and Russia cannot replace those. You see, Russia tried to gain more of the territories. They're getting closer to Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, but in July they've lost 10,000 soldiers more compared to June. And they cannot compensate those losses with just volunteers. They need to announce a new mobilization, which is, I would say, imminent. Yeah, I promise you to record a separate video about mobilization in Russia. And why do I think that we already have lots of the evidence telling that it is imminent this year or maybe winter the next year, but it will happen. It seems like after elections. But yeah, I will record the video for you maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I will see. It's like, you know, that I'll have no topics to speak about, or the news are kind of random or not interesting. I may tell about something in general, you know, like mobilization in Russia. Sometimes I might record those kind of the videos, but we have events happening, you see. I have to speak about Wildberries, Russian general situation on the front line, so simply not enough time for every sort of the videos, guys. But anyways, I like to film videos here on this channel, so thank you so much for watching. Oh, some interesting news and potential changes in Ukrainian army. So General Commander Dropati wants to promote Marcus to become a main sergeant of Ukrainian army, and they want to also develop this sergeant style of the management in Ukraine like it is in the United States, for example, where sergeant plays the great role. Marcus personally proposed it many of the times, so he could be in charge of those reforms. And Marcus, he says about the situation as it is. I mean, he doesn't hesitate to tell truths about the kind of the terrible situation which was under Syrskyi, and it's all rotted down Soviet-like systems. He always calls for the reforms, but at the same time about his personality, I think that Marcus, well, honestly, I watched all of his videos, I think he has severe case of PTSD. Like something is already, like he needs to have a relax for a couple of years maybe, because sometimes he says kind of the interesting stuff, I would say. But anyways, I think the change is after all for good. So I think he should take it, I mean this position, and try it out. And of course, there will be monitoring of the changes from Dropati himself. We'll see. But some of the reforms, they're happening at least at some certain level, and it is good. So even without Fedorov, there's some of the movements. But with Fedorov, it would be way, way better. And people still, they protest on the streets, you know? Well, the protests, they're not that massive as before, but people, they're still going in some of the cities, not just in Kiev, But the last Friday, it was really massive, like more than 50,000 people, I think. They went there, maybe even more. They went in a big column right on Hryshchatyk Street, the main street of Ukraine, I would say. But I think the interview of Fedorov, it changed a little bit the perception of people, because Fedorov hesitated to really tell the names of people affiliated with his resignation. And he also says that he supports Zelensky, like he doesn't want to go in full confrontation against president, but at the same time, he's okay with people going. So people, they didn't see like the leader of the protest in Fedorov face. People, they want reforms. But Fedorov, he like plays here and there. So yeah, the situation with protests that they will fade away after all. That's my prediction. Prediction of Baba Vanga Nostradamus. Alright, to the other news, in Leipzig, the FPV drone was found very close to Ukrainian Antonov 124 airplane. It looks like it was a combat FPV drone. Could it be an attempt to perform a spiderweb operation against the Ukrainian aircraft that carries military goods? Well, maybe. The drone fell down right at the parking spot by the time of the loading of the very interesting cargo. So the case has been investigated. No one so far was hurt. And Antonov 124 is the fantastic machine, of course. And it's also kind of sensitive. It is not the tank with this anti-drone armor. Even a small drone strike could be a fatal for this airplane, and Ukraine already showed it with the spiderweb operation conducted in Russian military airfields. So maybe it's one more Russian provocation escalation, as they already did in Germany, with those drones, with burning the military equipment of Bundeswehr. Some of the supply vehicles, like the last year Germany lost in a parking spot, so it is happening. There are sabotage operations. And the German Die Zeit reports that Russian intelligence planned to assassinate Stefan Thumann, head of German drone maker Donnerstahl. German security services thwarted the plot after receiving warnings from allied countries. Thumann is now under protection and recently said he could not attend trade fairs for unspecified reasons, so he's basically on lockdown. He's a talented guy, head of the German FPV drone maker, and also I'm sure that he is in this project of Ram-2X drones, which are very effective, hitting Russian trucks and all of the supplies within the mid-range. So fantastic job he does, and Russia knows about it. You see, Russian intelligence is working, and in Germany especially. Oh, guys, come on, what are you doing? This is Belgrade, I think, or Voronezh. I think Belgrade after all, and this is Yakovlev 40. Yakovlev 40 is the old Soviet commercial jet with 3 of the engines. For this such a tiny airframe, 3 of the thirsty engines, that is what buried this airplane down, so it wasn't flying. I'm guaranteeing you that it was grounded for a very long time, but nevertheless it was visited and kissed by Ukrainian drone. As for the practice aiming, yes, it will go, but maybe nothing is left on this airfield, yeah, in Belgrade. Belgrade is very close, so there is no commercial operation, nothing. Just this monument was staying on one of the remote aprons, and our guys decided to visit it. Okay. Oh, this is the controlled shell. Yeah, it is capable to change the direction while it's dropping down on something really sensitive. So it's the guided shell. It's like the aviation gliding bomb, but the drop, yeah, so precise thing. And it's been developed by Ukraine. First of all, Brave One system that was started by Fedorov, by the way. This whole enterprise, it's like Amazon, but for the army. It's like Wildberries, but without those huge storages, of course. And this system works. It has been developed, tested, and now it is evolving with the new aiming systems. So drone operator needs just to focus the object in some of the range, for example, this circle or square or something, and the shell knows where to fly. It has also machine vision, it has aiming. It knows where to hit. And this is the next step. And Ukraine, by the way, has those heavy drones, Baba Yaga. Russia didn't manage. This is simple thing. Come on, Russians. And you don't have it? Well, Russians capture sometimes Ukrainian Baba Yaga drones. For example, in Hulaypole, they captured many of those, and they've used Ukrainian drones against Ukraine, but they don't have the full-scale development. Ukraine has massive production of Baba Yaga. And as you saw, they're getting more and more advanced with different shells. So there are some of the bunker busters already. And this one, guided shell. Outstanding. Hey, bro, where is your tail, bro? Bro, oh, this is your tail. I see. Okay, 40 days that Zelensky announced, like, to force Russia for peace, they expired already. I think it was just the media thing. But during those 40 days, Ukraine definitely succeeded in something. Like, for example, kabooming this Tupolev 95 in Engels airfield, and we have the fresh satellite images showing that it lost the tail. Can they put this tail back? No, I don't think so, and it will not grow like in a lizard. So Russia lost one more Tupolev 95 for sure. Russia lost them already during the spiderweb operation, and minus one more. And this is the sensitive loss because Russia cannot produce those any longer. So fantastic job. Operation down by Ukrainian army happened roughly 2 weeks ago. I already told about it on the channel, but here we have the evidence. Yay. Okay, I was just scrolling my feed and I found this Russian AI probably generated image about their operation in Gostomel airfield. Their fixation on Gostomel is crazy. It is outrageous. Do they really think that it was a freaking successful mission for them? Come on, they were just dismantled 2 of the times, by the way. The first airborne squad, definitely they took positions because it was just the Ukrainian National Guard there placed, and they didn't have lots of the weapons, but later on Russians were smashed into bits. And after they sent what Akhmat army together with paratroopers, and they were dismantled too. A freaking Kadyrov's beloved Chechen general was zeroed there, and Russians continued to post something about Gaston. It was their biggest defeat, like the first defeat, and I would say the most miserable yet in this war. And why do I think like that? Because they were overconfident. They were sure that they will take Gostomel, yeah. But no, it didn't happen as they planned, and this didn't happen in the real life. So they were smashed, just annihilated. Romanov Light, Russian military blogger, comments that coming soon, we're waiting. Well, before I heard the rumors that Russia wants to restore Surovikin as the commander of the special military operation in Ukraine because he was damn successful building those barricades, but he was a friend of Prigozhin. That's why he was sent to Africa to spend the rest of his career. But it seems like there is some of the wind of changes happening in the Russian army. You see how Putin is changing some of the generals, and Ukraine helps him to do it, canceling some of the candidates. And yeah, there are some of the talks. For now, those are just the rumors that Surovikin could be restored on his position, which he held in 2022. And it was his goodwill gesture, by the way, from Kherson. Bro, no, bro, what the hell are you doing? This is the Trump's True Social, like the real page. I'm no joke, Patton Trump MacArthur, like, Donnie, what are you doing? Tell me. Oh, should I film the video about Donnie? Yeah, I'll do it on the second channel. Here I'm also, like, I haven't been telling about the situation with Iran. It's like reckless, it's complete chaotic, it's craziness, madness, but maybe I'll accumulate the news which happened like for the last months and will tell my prediction as Baba Vanga about the future of that kind of the confrontation. But long story short, do you really think that this guy may resolve this crisis? No, I think we should wait for 2 more years. And I just hope that they will stop shooting, that it will be some sort of the long-term ceasefire and the confrontation itself might be resolved under the next administration. And by the way, Donnie was not even serving in the army. Nevertheless, he puts it on. Oh, this is so cringe. This is the most uncomfortable thing to watch. Like, History Social, it is just pure madness. Especially with this AI stuff. This is... Oh, yeah, I guess it's too much. I guess it's kind of late already after midnight. Okay, I'm gonna keep you updated, my friends, and please follow me on Patreon if you can, like support me financially, because you are making my job possible. And as alternate variant, you may join YouTube membership by pressing button join. Yeah, again, I'm not begging, just if you can, yeah, because you are making my job possible. And also don't forget to press your like to this video, subscribe to the channel. We are on the way to reach 1 million subscribers kind of soon. Guys, you're just amazing, you're awesome. Thank you so much for your kind support. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.